Thank you for watching my presentation, everyone. I will be talking a little bit today about an incident that took place at United Airlines on Flight 3411. The incident was that there was everybody's boarding their plane. There was an emergency that United Airlines found out that they needed to bring four. I'm so sorry, four flight attendants on this flight. And so when they brought the four flight attendants on, they realized that the airplane was overbooked and that there was no seats available for them. So they then go into what is a normal process to have people volunteer to leave the flight. So in that process, they announce kind of their emergency and what they need. They're needing four people to leave the airplane. They offer $400. Nobody seems to be taking that offer. Then they double that to $800. Nobody's volunteering to get off the airplane. And since nobody volunteered after some time, they then make the announcement, which is a actual threat, that if you don't decide to volunteer to leave this craft, that we will forcibly remove you. They use a algorithm to um, they use an algorithm to voluntarily pick to uh, randomly pick four people to leave the flight. So they pick the four people, one of them being Dow. He's a doctor. He's on his way to go help patients. He's like, no, no, I cannot leave the flight. So he then obviously puts up a struggle, causing injury, causing some scrapes, bruises, cuts. And United then denies any wrongdoing, realizes that they denied it. So in the next 2 days that follow, there's a major uproar. During that whole incident, of course, people are videotaping, people are filming, they're posting it to social media. There is a huge backlash and a huge call out for apologies and to do something about this situation. The man's a doctor, like, we shouldn't have caused him any injuries. So with that, United then takes their time in figuring out the incident and what actually happened, and after about 2 days, then finally decide to take full responsibility and apologize. This was after some incorrect statements, the PR incident of them not responding quickly enough, have all added up to their apology not really being accepted. It's just not really what they were hoping for. So, the major service failure here, I think, is going to be that, according to the Department of Transportation, who oversee airlines, it is perfectly within the law for them to involuntarily remove or bump people off the airplane. Um, that seems like it needs to be reassessed. I kind of wrote in my paper that that's kind of be the root cause of this major issue, is the idea that airplanes do, is it a whim, is it an emergency, can just decide, like, it is just okay for them to put their hands on people, physically remove them from the flight. I didn't realize it was that easy for the airplanes to make that decision, so this is all very interesting to me, very new. And so that, I believe, is going to be where the major breakdown took place, that being an ongoing process. Also, the idea of overbooking flights. When you overbook your flight, you have people pay for the seats, and then when people are no shows, the flights are no longer overbooked, they're at full. So what was happening was people were no showing and there would be like half of the flight empty. So they said, oh no, go ahead and start overbooking. It's perfectly fine. Then if you're overbooked, you won't, that'll account for your no shows and you won't be overbooked at that point. You'll be full. So this is a great system, right? And I guess it's a great system until the day they have an emergency on a full flight. They need people to voluntarily remove themselves, and nobody will. So this is a situation that is ongoing, that has happened in the past in some shape or another, shape or form, and will likely happen in the future if it's not assessed. It just seems like a really big misstep on their part, and that can be looked into and evaluated. So that's going to be the major service failures there. And now, preventing incidents like this in the future, one of my biggest things was just put a full stop on the idea that you can physically remove people from your airplane. I think in general, if we were more kind to each other and not as money driven as we could be, the idea of physically removing people from the airplane, if I worked there, I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I wouldn't, if that was part of the job description to like pick up and move people from it's something I wouldn't appreciate as an employee. It's something I wouldn't appreciate as a customer. It's something that I wouldn't appreciate knowing that in an interview. So I feel like that's going to be one of the biggest service failures that could be addressed in order to prevent this incident happening again. And other than that, get some customer service management and get some PR teams that are going to be responding to these people within a timely manner. And the idea of it being 2 days later, 3 days later, something like that, allowed for a large enough amount of time that customers were able to band together. I think they mentioned in the case study that Weibo is a Chinese social media platform, over 100 million views on some of these videos. That is 100 million people that swiped past it, that liked it, subscribed to it, or did something and engaged with it. That level of engagement, it can be detrimental or it can really play in your favor if you know how to use that power. Now, steps to rebuild your brand and reputation are going to involve some major, for lack of term, butt kissing. You're going to have to give some people some free stuff. Like, you're just going to have to like give up some free seats. You're going to have to make a senior citizen day, or make a idea of make a lot of different things that you can do. You, in order to change the image, you're going to want to start advertising as a family friendly place. Like, let's get some Christmas commercials going. Let's get some other reward systems for senior citizens. If you're over the age of 65, you can build to a free flight in a year or something like that. Those things are going to be not only attending to the customer, but also the really good way to reach the customer and express that message that yes, this may have happened in the past, but we're on a different path now. We're doing something different now. It's not impossible. I think United Airlines, I think flights in general, travel in general, is one of those things that you're going to really find that people will go above and beyond just to get with their family or get to where they're going. People are willing to do just about whatever it takes to get to where they need to go. So they're going to use your flight again. Let's not enter in with the idea that, well, they have to use this or nothing. Let's get into the idea of them choosing you because they want to. That, I think, is something that United Airlines can really take into account, and they have in the past, and I think they could in the future. That's going to be just about it for me. Thank you again for watching my presentation. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of the end of the semester. We did it.